Hello and happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to the Amateur Football YouTube channel. We will be talking about Charcoal versus Independent. Yes, we all know that the game's been cancelled, but that does not stop us talking about the League Cup final, where we think that game is going to be won and lost. Big shout out to Tyrus from FC Kabuya. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much for like coming on. So let's start. What did you think about the previous game, the Charcoal Independent in the London Vets Cup?
Yeah, the game that was a very entertaining game. I turned up literally at kickoff, and I think he turned up just after me. I see he just turned up just after me, and as I turned up, they scored. Charcoal scored their first goal, which from where I was standing and from where everyone else was standing was very offside. It did appear like the line on the other side couldn't keep up with the game. Um, but the game was very entertaining from then on. It grew into strength to strength, and it kind of had everything, including little handbags on the sideline. So yeah, good game.
And do you think the best team won?
On the day, I think the more hungrier team won. I think the more hungrier team won. I'm not. I like Charcoal and I like Independent. I don't know about splitting them up, but I think the more hungrier team won, but they did it with 10 men, so you could see there was more hungrier for it.
Okay, cool. So we are now going to be talking about the League Cup semi-final, which
Yeah,
was supposed to be played tomorrow, but it's been cancelled.
yeah.
Um, what what do you think Independent have to do to kind of get over that hoodoo playing Charcoal, especially in their backyard?
I think they need to turn up for the game. I felt like in the last game, I know a few of the independent players, and I felt like a few of the big players were hiding in that game. I didn't think they stepped up to the plate. Maybe the occasion got to them. I don't know, but I think they need to come out of the shadows and kind of play their football. They were playing well through Justin, who's a good friend of mine. It seemed like they was just giving him the ball and expecting him to pull off miracles, and there was no one showing for him, no one making runs, no one getting him to make his mind up for him. So I feel like they need to turn up and be the team that we know they can be.
Mm. And you've like mentioned Justin. Um, Justin for me is a key component for Independent.
Yeah,
If if Independent want to dictate the game, they have to give the ball to Justin. However, people have to show for him as well, right?
100%, 100%. In the last game, I think from what I could see, he would get the ball from the centre back, and the only person that would be showing for him, in my opinion, was Chewy, who is a left back. Which it really doesn't make sense that the left back is showing for the centre midfielder to give him the ball. So the men in front of him need to do a bit more because they wasn't giving him anything, and he was actually trying, but he didn't have anything in front of him.
Mm. And you know, I've kind of mentioned this a few times. Independent are one of the fittest teams in the league,
Yeah,
possibly one of possibly the best the counter attacking team in the league as well.
yeah,
However, they can't use Dash and Nino like greyhounds, like horses. You
yeah,
know, there's like got to be a phase of play for them to be I don't know, for like opportunities for them to go at their players
yeah, yeah,
you know, one on one. You can't just give the ball to Nino and actually Dash and just expect them just to
yeah. I
perform
think
miracles, right?
that kind of enforces the kind of stigma when I used to be younger and faster. There was like a stigma, like you just play the ball over the top to him and he'll chase it, or give him the ball and he'll run with it. We can actually play football. So give us something. Get us on the ball, get us back to goal, let us turn and go. You know, they definitely can't just use the players as whippets because they're quick.
Mm-hmm. And regarding management, um,
Yeah,
personally, I like believe Ray from Independent has to be a lot more proactive in his in-game substitutions.
Yeah.
There was an opportunity against Charcoal with 10 men to really go for the jugular.
Yeah.
And, I felt that it was more about containing them rather than actually going for the win. I mean, what's like your opinion about that?
Yeah, I don't know Ray personally. I know more of is it Black Klopp? I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Paul. Is it Paul?
Paul,
I know more of Paul. But I think you're right. They didn't capitalize on the extra man. They could have literally put an extra man in there with Justin. That's all they had to do. Someone else that is willing to offer something else. But it seemed like Charcoal kind of put more pressure on them the less men they had on the pitch.
Talking about Charcoal, again, they won the league, they won the Vex Cup, and also they won the Beckenham Cup as well. So I guess they are favourites to actually win this competition as well, right?
Yeah, I think Charcoal going into anything is our favourites, to be honest with you. They've kind of been flying the flag for Vets football for a few years. Obviously, I came into it last year at a bit part kind of stage, but I've known of Charcoal for however long they've been playing, and I've had friends that played for them before and people that play there now. And I feel like Charcoal will always be like a team that would always be up there in the hat to win something, the league or the cups or whatever they're involved in.
Where do you think Charcoal's Achilles heel is against Independent?
Achilles heel, as big and as strong as the defense are, they look like they only have one pacey defender at the back. So I feel like if somebody with pace was to get at them, Independent, they didn't realize that the ball had to stop going forward in the air because the big skipper was just clearing everything. So if they got the ball down, probably played it down the side of him or played it over the top. Like, I mean, when I mean over the top, I mean overhit it, not just clip it in. Then maybe they might have got some joy because they didn't look the fastest at the back.
I've got to shout out Danny Steele, who's a captain of Charcoal. He was actually immense. Of course, you've got Chrissy Piper as well in like centre mid that again was literally controlling the midfield. James's substitutions and James's tactics. When we're kind of talking about, I'd say the kind of like the next level of like management decisions, where would you rank James's management know-how?
The subs were perfect. I made a point. I was on the show. I was on the Fire Pit not too long ago, and I can't remember if it was actually James or one of the other independent Charcoal players that was on there. And I made the point that he made one sub that was very key to the whole game. And I think the guy's name was, is it Greeny, something like that?
Greeny, yeah.
This guy came on and he looked like he was possessed. He was just running and everything, tackling everything. He literally said, I'm going to go on for the last 20 or 25 and empty the tank. And that seemed to work. It even got them a goal. He pressed the ball and it went through to Ricky Shakes and he scored his goal. So I think his subs on the day were top. Very, very, very good substitutions.
When we're like talking about the like two squads, who do you think has the stronger squad and why?
I think Charcoal have the stronger squad. I think their caliber of players just says it all. Like we said, the subs they made, the depth in their squad showed it all. They bought they took off their striker and bought in another striker who came on, held the ball up and set it and played. They took off a midfielder that was running the game and brought on another midfielder that came on to run the game. So it shows they've got so much depth in their squad. Although independent subs were good, I think they were too little too late. I think Sugar should have been introduced more earlier into the game. He came on and he made 2 forward passes and made a move for the ball straight away. And we didn't really see that for the whole game from independent. So I think Sugar should have got on earlier. I think they needed to change the front men as well a bit earlier. I think they left it a little bit too late. I think they was just relying on the fact that they had the extra man, which didn't turn out to be the difference in the end, to be fair.
Someone in my comments, actually it was Marlon Patterson, said that independent were too soft. I wouldn't say that they're too soft. I would say that they're too nice. You know, in against Charcoal, like you've got to shout for every decision.
Yeah.
There are some tackles, there are like some like challenges where you've just got to go in full blooded. I mean,
Mhm.
what's your opinion about you know Independence lack of aggression?
Yeah, I think that comes under what I was saying before. It seemed like they were hiding. That wasn't the Independent that played Koya in the cup. That wasn't the Independent that we beat in preseason. I think the Independent we beat in preseason was the Independent that turned up to that cup game. They were very timid, very flat. The Independent we got in the league, well, is the cup. That is the Independent I expected to turn up against Charcoal and actually give them proper fight. And we didn't see that. We didn't see that at all.
I mean, again, we can kind of both can guarantee that Paul will like definitely get it into like their heads.
Yeah.
This time that there's no like prisoners and yeah, I'm literally expecting just a more aggressive and a more passionate performance.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the officials. Let's talk about the referees.
If you want to call them that.
Well, listen. You know what? Let's be real.
I'll be respectful.
Yeah, the like referee made an absolute howler. And literally everyone can actually see that.
Yeah.
How important is it in this game to have officials who are strong-minded?
It's very important because it's a very big game. It's not like I believe the ref should be the same in every game. There should be a level of consistency. But for the kind of setup they had for that game and for the mistakes that were made, it was totally unacceptable. I mean, I've never turned up to a Vets game and see refs mic'd up. There was mic'd up. So if something has been missed, the mic is there for you to have dialogue and tell the ref what he missed. he like you have to believe it.
I know.
I couldn't believe it because when what was the defender's name again? I don't want to misquote him.
It was Danny Steele that made the challenge.
So Danny Steele made the challenge. Danny Steele laid on the floor for 2 minutes. He knew his game was over. He knew it was a red card. He knew it was done. The ref has come over, and I don't know what type of dialogue he had, but he's pulled over another guy. Now, I struggle to see how you can. It's not like you've booked another black guy for another black guy's mistake, or you've booked another white guy for another white guy's mistake. These are two big guys, but there is a clear difference in between them. How he's made this mistake, I will never know. How the Lionel hasn't seen him and corrected him, I will never know because he's mic'd up and he was actually in line for that phase of play, which he wasn't for the offside goal. It's shocking. It's shocking, and that affected the game, and that is effectively going to affect the next. Is it the final that's next?
It's the semi-final.
It's going to affect the semi-final because they would have been without their big skipper for the semi-final. So it's going to affect the result in the next game as well. And these big decisions, they have to get these decisions right because that was one of the worst decisions I've seen.
Regarding Charcoal's home ground, I kind of made this point where like Charcoal play, they have that kind of little boundary around it that you only really see in cup finals. I don't know if it's a ploy. I don't know if it was an accidental ploy or it's something that they thought about.
Yeah.
But again, going to their ground and getting a result, it is intimidating. What can kind of teams like do to eradicate that type of feeling at Charcoal's ground?
I think you just got to show up. You've got to show up. As we know, and as I've said before, the name Charcoal holds a lot of weight. So if you know you're going to play that team, you've just got to show up. You've got to show up and give them what you got because you're not going to get an easy game. If you've got a little following, get yourself some fans on the sideline as well because that will help. It will help to even things up. But for me, that game was very winnable for Independent. but they just didn't show up. Didn't show up at all.
Okay. Predictions. Predictions.
What's this for? Just for the next one, or because they've got them another 3 times?
Yeah,
haven't they?
yeah. You know what? Let's just say, just for the League Cups, semi-final.
Yeah. So let me get this right. The semi-finals between Independent and Charcoal again, or is that
Yes,
another
yes,
cup? Okay.
yes. So yes, which was scheduled for like tomorrow.
Okay, so I've seen Independent play 4 times now, and I've seen Charcoal play twice. So if I'm going based on what I've seen, I have to go Charcoal again. I can't give you a score, but I have to go Charcoal again because they just seem like they're too strong. I want Independent to show up. I want them to show up. I want them to give a good account and shock me. But going based on what I've seen, I have to go Charcoal.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think Charcoal definitely have the know-how. However, Independent know how to dig deep and actually get results. They literally won the Beckenham Cup twice on the spin, so they have winners in their team.
Yeah.
And again, on their day, and especially if they have a good strong phase within the game, Independent can easily score 2, 3, 4 goals.
Yeah, very good team. They're a very good team. Very good team. We've had to, as I said, I've played them twice. And like you said, they have like a mad 10, 20 minutes where they just bombard you. And you have to kind of weather it. Yeah, and it does happen with most teams, but Independent always have this period in the game where they really do bombard you. And you have to weather it, but they have to kind of utilize that and kind of turn that little 20 minutes into a 45-minute or a 60-minute kind of run, just so they can try and take the edge off the game.
Yeah, very true, very true. Well, we literally don't know when this game is going to be rescheduled. I'm sure that we will find out. Again, thank you so much for like coming on. We've still got to play you in our own division, respectively.
Yeah.
We literally owe you a beating.
I try not to score next time.
Oh dear, but honestly, thank you so much for coming on. And again, guys, please like, subscribe, do that, all of the great stuff. Charcoal versus Independent, time and date to be confirmed. But again, if whenever this like game is, make sure that you're free, because I can guarantee it's going to be a humdinger. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you guys soon.